here, Coach Kiva here on this great Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. I'm coming on real quick for a lunch and learn. And yes, this is my lunch. This is my favorite shake, packed with like over 20 grams of vitamins and minerals, and it's protein. So this is a lunch and learn where you can learn more about home care. You may have been wondering or even brainstorming if you may need home care for your loved one. So those who follow me, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, thanks for tuning in. Like I just said, I'm Coach Kiva. I am a mom of 4, a wife, and I was a caregiver to my grandmother who passed away October 1st. Nana is what we call her. And you know, I did lots of videos. I was walking in the morning before I went to go care for her, and just kind of like give you the like what it was to spend time with her. So she passed away October 1st, and so this business right here, which is Premier Home Care, is to honor her every single day. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. So I want to let you know, well, first, let me know where you're checking in from. So we are licensed here in Maryland. So let me know where you're tuning in from and if you're watching this on replay. So my grandma passed October 1st, but she'd been going through different health challenges, and we never thought that we would be the ones who would be looking for home care services. But we did when she had her last couple, over the last past year, maybe like 4 years or so. We saw that her health was declining and she needed more assistance, and we worked, right? And I have four kids, 2 grown adults and 2 school-age kids. So, and then her sister and her nephew and all the other grandkids had a life of their own. And so we had to figure out a way to make it work. So we knew that we needed, my grandma had made it very clear, I'm not going to a facility. I'm like, okay. So we knew that we had to do something quickly because she had to go a couple of times so she could get her strength to be able to move around and be more mobile. And so there's 2 types of care. Home care is what most insurance companies don't cover, and if they do, cover very few hours. But home health is like skilled care, like physical therapy, PT, occupational therapy, things like that, where a nurse will come out. So it's totally 2 different things. So the company that we've launched because of my grandmother and memory of her is home care. So we basically help with companion care, helping with daily activities, taking to appointments that are in town, organization, helping clean it up, helping prepare the food, things like that. So those are all the things that we knew that my grandmother would need. And so we went through, I did extensive research. So we must have hired, the first company we hired was quite interesting. And the day we got to meet the caregiver, my grandma was like, no, that is not going to work. So I was like, okay, Nana. She knew from the very moment, she said, Kiva, this is not going to work. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let them know it isn't a good fit, and we're going to move on to another company. And I knew that time was of the essence, so I had to move quickly, research night and day to figure things out. And we were at a point, my grandma also needed a chairlift to get her up and down the stairs. So I had to take, and this is like being in the multiple rehabs, right? I won't get into me going to the rehab. It's back. I got an incoming call. I have no idea. So I won't get into the fact that it was like at least 3 facilities. I got there in the nick of time. So I thank God every day. And when I got there, she was like not the same. She wasn't responsive. I'm like, when did you check on my grandmother? Like her tray was right in front of her. She was in the corner. It was like, what is happening? Like, did you even see that she ate? She was like, it was just like crazy. I said, you know, we've got to get her out of here. It was like 2, was it 2 or 3? I was like, call 911 and get her out of here right now. I'm like, they thought that it was okay. Like, that's not okay. Thank you so much. And then the second time, it was so many times I can't even remember. She was there under 24 hours, right? My aunt had saw her the night before. She seemed pretty good. She had her BiPAP machine, and she finally got, it never seems to amaze me that healthcare personnel just did not want to give her a BiPAP. Why would you not want to give her that when she was clearly using one in the ICU So she finally got one and went to the facility. I'm like, did you even use her BiPAP machine? Did you use the nebulizer? Like, is certain things that they were not using, and I could tell because it was not used. So like those are the things that we knew home care was the best option for my grandmother, and we had to learn how to use those equipment. And with home care, the company is supposed to teach their staff how to use the equipment, right? So we learned from the actual medical company to come out to bring the BiPAP machine, and with the chairlift, the nebulizer, I know how to use that anyway. So you just be mindful that these companies understand how to use the equipment, okay? Because I mean we can show them, but they should have an idea how to use it, and then the leader, the CEO, the director is supposed to show their staff how to use it. So it was just interesting. I won't go all in details, but you can see how we knew it was important to launch our own business to help my Nana. Unfortunately, my Nana didn't have the opportunity to experience the great home care services that we're going to provide to other people. And I'm so sad about that, but just to honor her every single day. So, and when I went to those facilities 3 times, she was back in ICU, back on all these like suction in her. It was just crazy. So we have a responsibility to advocate for our seniors, for our loved ones, because honestly, from my experience, they just want to put you in a home and throw you away. That's my experience. And my Nana said, no, we're not having that. I think it was a collective agreement with the entire family. And so I think it was about last year at one of her other nursing facilities, not in the best area, but they really helped her like gain her mobility back, to walk, to get her strength back. And she says, Kiva, I really want to get out of here. I'm like, okay, Nana. I said, I'll do my best. So I researched and I was like, you know what? I told my husband, we're gonna bring Nana home here. And so we did. It was crazy. I don't know how we did it, but like, our house is always busy. Having like 2 adults, 2 school age, and all the things. So Nana came home to live with us, and it was so beautiful because we got to see, how to take care of our Nana. My husband made her breakfast. I served her. I didn't make all the breakfast. And let me tell you, she did not want to eat everything. I'm like, Nana, this is not a restaurant. This is simply, a home. We're assisting you, nursing you back. So anyways, we had researched to get her a ramp to push her wheelchair up the ramp, and she had dialysis. We coordinated the bus to get her to dialysis. We hired a home care helper to come in to take her to her appointments when necessary. I mean, we really did everything to make sure my Nana was okay. Just to get her well enough so she can go back to her own house. And her great grandkids were able to assist her. So, like I said, it's just a great honor to be able to care for my grandmother and use these services to help other people in our community. So we're licensed only in Maryland right now, which I'm so excited about. So anyways, those are the signs. I mean, those are like some of the reasons how we knew we needed home care. And if you can relate, comment down below and let me know, what are some of the family concerns that you have. Like, we knew that my grandma needed help with her daily activities, like getting dressed, right? Just building her mobility back up, even from the nursing facility. So, like I said, I coordinated getting the chairlift installed, getting the payment plan set up, and all those things. And what I've learned is that there are not a whole lot of resources, but there are some. So I put together like a resource list on different agencies in Maryland that may be able to assist with some of the costs. I don't know, but my grandma didn't qualify. So yeah, I'll put together like a resource list I can share with you all. If you're interested, let me know. Comment down lists in the comment section, and I'll post that. But we have to be an advocate for our loved ones, our grandparents, because if we don't speak up, they just want to throw them away. And I know that my grandma deserved to live a full life, right? She served the federal government for so many years, and what was so interesting, she had good insurance, and they still didn't want to go the extra step. So I won't say all healthcare people, but the ones that we experienced, that was our experience. So anyways, Like I said, if you want the list, these are only in Maryland, a resource list that I put together when I was helping my grandma out for like chairlifts company, different kind of qualifications that you may need for Maryland state support. But there were not a lot because she didn't qualify. But anyways, it is an investment to be able to, hire a home care agency to come in and help, because if you're busy like we are, then you totally know that you may have to take your teenagers to sports, you may have to go to a business event, you may have to go to church for early morning service, a lot of different things, and you can't always be there. So how wonderful is it to hire a support team that can be able to support you, take your loved one to their appointments, go shopping for them, prepare their meals, play games with them, keep their mind fresh, because if we don't use our mind, we will lose it. So we're out in the community sharing the great news. So like and share if you know anyone in the Maryland area who needs support with seniors. We do care for all ages, but we focus on seniors because that was my grandma. And we help with, like I said, companion care. We run shopping errands, prepare meals, medication reminders is the big one. So my grandma had medication reminders. Like I said, transportation to appointments and social events, lighthouse keeping, not the whole house, but just the living areas on where your loved one will be at most of the time. And then light laundry. So those are all the ways we're able to support your loved one. And we want you to learn from our experience, right? So learning that you don't have to wait, you don't have to tolerate or accept any home care agency. You can do your research. We even created a, it's called a 10-hour starter package, right? This is a 10-hour starter package where you can figure out if it is a good match. Because if it isn't a good match, we don't want anyone to feel like it's a long contract, right? So 10 hours is a starter package that you get to figure out if it's a good match. And yes, in advance notice, there is paperwork that needs to be completed, because we need to make sure we have everything on file. Anyways, have an amazing day. My shake is actually melting, but I'm gonna go drink it right now. So don't forget, like and share. It's so important that we advocate for our loved ones, our grandparents, and I'm just really, always think about how my grandma could have experienced this home care opportunity, but I won't get into all the, what transpired and whatever. Anyways, have an amazing day, learn from us, and you get to decide the next steps for your loved one. All right, guys, and comment down below any questions you may have. And again, if you want that resource list for Maryland, let me know, because you'll be amazed at so many different resources. Like, I made so many phone calls and they refer me here and there. And through that, I was able to get a loaner ramp. Like, how amazing is that? And so when my grandma went back home, we returned the ramp, and then, like I said, we had her picked up by transportation by our county, and then when she went back home, we canceled it. So there are resources in the community. We have to just be able to know where to find them, and sharing is caring. So I don't mind sharing those with you all. All right, have an amazing day. Peace.